Hey everyone, welcome to the Breakthrough Entrepreneurs podcast where we empower both new and experienced entrepreneurs, high performers, business owners to overcome the challenge of work-life balance, break bad, old, unhealthy, negative habits, behaviors, build new habits, create new rituals, new routines. I'm your host Muhammad Faraj, and today we'll be talking about finding balance before you burn out. I think balance is a myth. I think it's hidden in our life, in our society nowadays. So many people are driven, but they don't talk too much about imbalanced life. We face a life of imbalance, which leads us so often to feeling stressed, overwhelmed, disappointed, or burnout. So that's why I choose to talk about imbalance, about our life, about our entrepreneurial life, so we can learn, so we can apply some practical tips or insights about maintaining a balanced life that will prevent us from feeling burnout or ending up feeling imposter syndrome or disappointed about our life, about our future as an entrepreneurs. I think so many times I faced this issue with the balance, but I learned a lot during my experience, and nowadays I've been so thankfully maintaining a balanced life because I learned a lot during my entrepreneurial journey, and I've been applying so many concepts, so many tips, strategies to prevent myself from ending up in imbalanced life that always brings me the same results, that always leads me to feeling overwhelmed, burnout. But now I'm clear. Now I have clarity about my life. I understand my life. I understand what I should do, what I'm supposed to do and not do. So that's why this imbalanced life is hidden in my life. Because when you have bad habits, when you have unhealthy behaviors, you have kind of imbalanced life that always leads you to feeling overwhelmed, stress, disappointed, and burnout, which we don't want that as an entrepreneurs. We want to maintain a healthy, happy, successful, balanced life so we can enjoy our life, we can enjoy our entrepreneurial journey, so we can enjoy growing our businesses and developing our entrepreneurial journey. So I find that when we don't maintain balance about work, about productivity, it so often leads us to feeling disappointed, procrastinated, and distracted, which we don't want that. But imbalanced productivity, imbalanced work ethics comes from lack of experience, lack of a good health, lack of movements in our bodies, lack of spending time with the loved ones, with the families. So as an entrepreneurs, I think so many entrepreneurs can relate to this, where when we feel excited, when we feel motivated, happy, and thinking about our goals, and we get this momentum. So what we do, we ignore our families, we ignore our health, we ignore our enjoyment of life, we ignore our adversity. So we focus too much, we put so much pressure on our bodies, on our health, just to do the work, just to be workaholic, as they say. So that way we lose this balanced life. We lose our friends, we lose the enjoyment of having a family, the enjoyment of having friends around us, the enjoyment of traveling or having fun in our life. So we put so much pressure, we put so much effort, time on our businesses, on our work, but we lose balance until we end up feeling overwhelmed, stressed, disappointed, easily distracted, tired, exhausted, which leads so often to feeling burnout. It's because we forgot our loved ones. We forgot to maintain a balanced life, and that way we end up even wasting, we end up getting distracted so easily, we end up falling back to our old negative habits. It's because we didn't maintain a balanced life from the first place. So that's why it's very important that you always maintain a balanced life, even if your business is working, even if things are working great. So so often I notice that so many entrepreneurs also they make the mistake of cooling down, which I call, where when they make progress, when they do good work, when they make some sale calls, or when they make a contract, or when they grow their businesses, they get too excited. They get so much excited, and this leads to high impulse, which leads to spending too much time on business, on working, spending too much money on vacations or just entertainment and enjoying life. So they do it too much. They don't maintain balance. I mean, I know you're excited. I know you're happy because you have made a sale calls and you have progress in your businesses, but it doesn't mean that you get wild, too excited, and you lose your balance of life, which often leads to disappointment too. Because when things goes well, when things work out, you feel so happy, you feel so excited, so you cool down your work. You go out and spend too much time. You say yes to everyone. You spend too much money on unnecessary vacations or products or purchases because you just earned some money recently, because you made some sales calls, or because you signed a contract deal. But that's false, because you as an entrepreneur, you can't predict what can happen later. If things will work out, if things will still continue to work out well for you, or maybe you will meet some obstacles or hinders or challenges, then you will end up feeling disappointed, and all that excitement, all that drive in your mind will fade away, will disappear. You will be surprised, you will suddenly feel disappointed, surprised about the changes that happens. So that's why it's very important to maintain balance in your entrepreneurial life. Also, when it comes to fitness, when we go to the gym or when we do any fitness or sport activities, outdoor or indoor, when we feel better about our bodies, when we feel like we got that energy, when we feel like that we got this dopamine kick in our brain. So what we do, we go and spend too much time at the gym or in the sport. We go do a high intensity workout or sport, and suddenly we feel drained, we feel depleted, we feel tired, exhausted, and then we lose our enthusiasm about our businesses because we are drained, because we are depleted, because we are burned out. So we lose that excitement, we lose that motivation about working on our businesses, because you have changed, you have switched your brain, your mindset from being a successful entrepreneur, from building a successful business, to being successful in the sport. So you change your brain, you change your mindset, you spend more time on the sport, on the sport activities, events, and you drain yourself, you deplete your energy, then you don't have any energy left to do your work, to be productive, to focus on your goals, on your dreams. And then you end up having unbalanced life, which is the same mistake that I made in my own experience, in my own personal life, where I used to do a marathon training practices, so I was not doing my work. I was constantly getting distracted and procrastinated, and then I was leaving my workplace and going outdoor and doing very, very tough, hard intensity training, sport, biking, swimming, running. So I was focusing too much on the sport, on the entertainment, on the enjoyment, but I lost focus on my entrepreneurship life. I lost focus, I lost productivity on my entrepreneurial journey, where I ended up feeling very tired, exhausted when I came back home. I couldn't do any work, couldn't be productive, couldn't stay focused. I was so depleted, I was so drained. When I came back home, I would just lay down and just rest the whole day and not do any work. And then I had to pay the price later on, because so many entrepreneurs are not aware of this. And when you make mistakes, you know what you have done before. You know what mistakes you have done, and you know the cost of these mistakes. So that's why I choose to talk about balance in this episode, because it's something hidden in our society. It's something very, very important that we need to be aware of. Same thing with our relationships. When we not maintain a balanced life, we go out, spend too much time with friends, relatives, or co-workers, or people we know from in the businesses or at the work. So we spend too much time outdoor with those people, but we spend less time, unfortunately, with our own families, with our loved ones, the people that we care a lot. So when we not maintain a balanced life, our love is not as energized as it used to be. We love being out, we love spending time with others, but our love decreases for our families. We don't make that call. We don't spend too much time with our kids. We don't go out, do some outdoor activities with our children. We don't help our children do their homework or study. So we spend too much time on businesses, on working, or spending time on sport activities or events, or spending time with friends and co-workers or relatives, but we spend less time with our loved ones, with our families. I think this is something so many entrepreneurs can relate to, and I used to know some people, they were doing that. They were going out, traveling around, they were doing work abroadly, but they were rarely at home. They were rarely with their families, even their children. They lost their rhythm, they lost their care, they lost their love for their parents. They didn't feel so happy, interested, excited when their parents came back home, because they were maintaining unbalanced life that led to love disappearing in that family. So same thing with spending. I think so many entrepreneurs, so they say yes to so many people, they say yes to everyone. They leave their work, those entrepreneurs, they leave their work, their projects, their golden time, but they say yes to others. They go out and act like they're very generous, act like very, very kind, and they end up wasting so much time. They end up wasting so much energy on others, but they don't spend their time on their entrepreneurial journey. They don't spend their time on their productivity, on their work, on their tasks, on their projects. So they maintain unbalanced life that would surprise them later on. And they will end up feeling disappointed with the negative results. So one of the important aspects of being an entrepreneur is you need to learn how to say no. When you say no to others, to activities that don't contribute to your success or to your goals or to your dreams, you can't succeed in your business. You can't succeed in your entrepreneurial life, because you end up saying so many times yes, and you say no to your goals, to your dreams, to your work, to your family, to the loved ones. So that way you end up feeling disappointed when you see a different results. So it's very, very important that we learn, that we find a balance in our life, that we do the fun stuff, that we do the enjoyment, the entertainment stuff, but also we do the hard work. We spend time with our loved ones. We spend time working on our entrepreneurial journey, on our businesses. We spend money on necessary things, on important things, or on our health. But we can't spend so much money or just be overspending just because we think we are entrepreneurs and we can make a lot of money, and we can grow our businesses fast. We can't just go out and spend so much money on vacations, on clothes, on unnecessary products or services. So we need to maintain balance in order to enjoy a financial free life, in order to enjoy our entrepreneurship journey. So that way entrepreneurship won't feel like an unbalanced journey. It won't impact your health, it won't impact your mindset, it won't impact your motivation, it won't impact your productivity, your focus. So having a balance is very, very crucial in our entrepreneurial life. And so many entrepreneurs, they complain about life and personal work balance because they don't learn about maintaining balance. They work on their businesses, they schedule all their tasks, all their projects, but they don't schedule their entertainment, their enjoyment, doing fun stuff, or being with their families, or helping their children. So they have over exaggerating in one area but nothing on another area. So that's why it's very, very important that we learn and maintain a balanced life. That's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed listening to this episode, and I can't wait to publish a new episode to help you break through in your entrepreneurship journey. Thank you so much for listening, and bye everyone.